All right, hello. We're here making a quick announcement with video this time, just to make sure that a couple of things become really clear. So to help do that, I'm just gonna share my, so this is my view of an announcement we made recently. We just wanna recap a couple of these things and then go in depth on a couple of them just to make sure everything's clear. So first, you all should have blocked out on your schedule time on Thursday, April 23rd from 12 to 2 to have a Zoom final informal design review. We'll send an invitation for that later this week, but that's really important that your team comes to that. It is, do you want me to go into that now? Okay, it is, let me switch which thing I'm sharing, sorry. It is an informal design review. It is worth less. It is, you can feel free to bring your portfolio or your, or some sample slides that you've made before to support you during that conversation. The basic idea of this is it's a little bit lighter pressure of a grade, so we're not giving you a trial run like we did in the past, and it's a little bit, a little lower stakes, but we think it'd be important for you to have a chance to explain your portfolio to us, because when we've tried to grade portfolios without your, presentation, some of the times we don't understand each piece, so just we think it'd be important to hear from you on it, and we think it'd be nice to just have a wrap up with the whole class there, so we don't just kind of all electronically go our separate ways. So if you can, please block off, so that in there, in the design review, in the project description, you've got all the information about what you need to cover in that design review. And if you can, please block off 12 to 2 so you can be there for it. Next in that announcement.
So portfolio stuff. So I'll just talk through the portfolio pieces. So just like in the previous projects, the idea of these two deadlines, the one last Thursday and the one that's today, is to help you build the parts of the portfolio that are going into the portfolio you're going to submit. So it's, again, telling the story of what you did on this project. So last week you had your individual, you had your individual ideation that was due a week ago Tuesday. Thursday, you had 5 to 7 team ideas that you were sharing, thinking about pros and cons for your stakeholder group. So realtors, small business owners, park women in green, and dancers, as well as 3 other stakeholder groups. And in the individual one-on-ones, we've been pushing people to think about more than one pro, more than one con. We're not looking for a specific number, but it really helps you think more deeply about the ideas. Because ultimately what you're trying to do with this Thursday's pages and share are 2 final ideas that are going to have a significant impact on the lives of the people in your stakeholder group. And that you've brought us to these ideas through all the knowledge you've generated by first understanding the group, then understanding the system and the other stakeholders that they interact with, and now how can we make their lives better. So those final 2 pages are due today. We are excited to meet with everyone. If you've not signed up for meetings for the previous portfolio pages or the final 2, please do that as soon as possible. We are willing to meet with you all early next week, but the later we meet with you, the less time you're going to have to turn around those changes and submit everything. So I'm going to pull back up the presentation. That would be really helpful for you if you, if you would like some additional resources. So this ideation presentation that you all saw that we used with the pre-class assignment goes over the different portfolio pages, all except for one part that needs to be out of the portfolio. So I'm going to go through those briefly. So first, just like the other 2 portfolios, we want your entire design process. What did you do to get to these final 2 ideas? At some point, you made decisions. How did you make them? Things like that. We want to know that information. Then you'll have your individual ideation pages. So you're from your pre-class assignment 6 that you already did, pull some different ideas and show how each of you contributed to the ideas that your team put together. okay? And that share even the wild ideas, the artificial intelligence, the robots that do this, the time machine that I saw. We want to hear about some of those. Then you'll have what you turned in last Thursday, your sketches of 5 to 7 ideas, and lastly, the final 2. And so in here, there are examples. You all have been asking for more examples and more templates. They're here for the 5 to 7, example there, template, as well as for the final 2 ideas. Now remember, you have your 5 to 7 ideas, you're picking 2 of those that you already have and bringing them over and then talking about them more deeply in these final 2. So we want to know more information about that idea. So if your idea is this robot, a personal assistant, when you talk about it in the 5 to 7, you're just giving a little bit of information. When you talk about it in the final 2, you're actually showing us how would that actually work? How would that have an impact on professors, for example, if they were your stakeholders? Okay, so check out this ideation PowerPoint if you want some additional information. So now let's go back. I mentioned that there's one part of the portfolio that's not in that slide deck. That is this part, the lessons learned. So at the end of your portfolio, we want you to each individually think of at least one lesson you learned on the project about time management, about teamwork and collaboration, about your stakeholder group, about design, and include that here individually. And then also, what did your group learn as a whole? So that portfolio is going to be due a week from Friday. So the end of the day, the Friday of finals week. If you can, submit it early. That'll help us get it back to you faster. If not, though, it's due at the end of the day on Friday. Okay, so those are the big portfolio page announcements and things to be thinking about.
All right, I'll just go back to the announcement page and just make sure we caught everything.
I think the last 2 pieces are around your final assignment. So let me talk about one of them and Dr. Sigils can talk about the other. So there is one other assignment due, and that's your peer and self-assessment. That link was posted today. So you're gonna wanna fill that out. Again, it's like 15 to 20 minutes. Just like before, you're gonna reflect on your own experiences, working with the rest of your teammates. Then you're gonna give us some feedback about the class. Remember, we didn't do this at the end of project 2, just like we weren't able to do the individual reflections to kick off project 3. So give us information going all the way back to the beginning of the project and kind of make this a summative peer and self-assessment as opposed to just focus on project.
And you've got, you have 2 extra credit assignments now posted, right? So the first extra credit assignment is an extension of the reading assignment that you had. It's a chapter. It's about it's a little more connected to the kind of the ideas of social power and engineers and ties to kind of the do artifacts have politics reading. And it'll tie to project 3. So if you want to do that, there's a deadline on it, but I am okay accepting it into next week. That is worth up to 10 points back into a pre-class assignment grade. So they've usually been worth 20, so it's around half of a pre-class assignment, and it is in scope about half a pre-class assignment in terms of what you need to write. An extra credit assignment 2 is Alex, you want to just explain how you're calculating?
Yes. So I'm pulling this up here. So we are again giving 10 extra credit points on a pre-class assignment, and I want to give you the current stats so you have it. For that pre-class assignment, you will be filling out your spots evaluation, and we will be looking for more than 80% of the class to complete that evaluation. And at this moment, we have 40% of the class has completed it. So we need another 40% in order to give the whole class the 10 points extra credit on pre-class assignments.
Yep. So if you're one of the 7 out of 17 is 40%. So if you're one of the 10 who haven't done it, you can help your classmates all get extra credit if you go and do your spots on my.fiu.edu. All right. Any other
So I
Thanks.
think that's the end of the main things we wanted to remind you all about. Again, use Calendly to sign up for office hour slots. And those don't have to be with your whole group. So I know that some groups are having challenges getting everyone together. It's finals week. We recognize that. Please just make sure you have more than like half, that you have half or more of your group there, just so that multiple people can hear what we're saying and ask questions about things. And we're available up through next Thursday if you want to meet. And if you can't find a slot that works, please send us an email and we're willing to move some things around to make things work. All right.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.